His name resonates with companies such as Mentor Graphics, McKinsey, Blindview Corp, Sysmantic, Seismic Micro Technologies. He's also familiar to career titles that we all aspire to, such as CEO and President, President of Compliance, Chief Operating Officer, and Partner. This individual has been a pioneer in that he's been able to work with over 2,500 customers in over 85 countries. This gentleman has over 20 years of high technology industry experience. With that, I'd like to call upon Mr. Arshad Madeen, who's going to address the questions that we asked at the very beginning of this conference. What can we as Muslims do to impact the professional world? And what can we do as a Muslim segment to leverage our education and expertise and strengthen the community that we live in? With that, I'd like to give a round of applause to Arshad Madeen.
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, I'm going to have help in my presentation. What we're going to do is summarize the 8 panel discussions we had today. I know all of you had an opportunity to attend 2 of them. So the plan is that we will, in the next 45 minutes or so, synthesize or summarize some of the key learnings from those panel discussions. I will, of course, blend in some of my own personal experience as a professional into the discussion. Helping me in this discussion are 2 of the moderators from the panels today, Miral and Muhammad. Where's Muhammad? All right. The way to structure it is that I'll spend the first few minutes talking about some of the key themes that emerged in terms of what you need to do to be successful as a professional. So this is what you need to do to be successful, whether you want to be a doctor, a manager, an accountant, or a banker, or a lawyer. There are certain cross-cutting themes that we'll talk about. And then Miral will come in and talk about some of the learnings about how do we give back to the community. What is our responsibility as Muslim professionals towards our community? And when we talk about community, it's not just the Muslim community, but also the society in general that we live in. And then Muhammad will come in and he will briefly discuss some of the views that we heard today in the panel about the role of Islam in our day-to-day life as a professional. And I must tell you that there is a fair amount of diversity of views as to what role does religion play in our professional lives. There is no consensus, there is no answer today, but we do want to discuss some range of opinions that were raised today in the panel, in the various panels. So let me start with kind of 5 themes that I believe are important if you want to be successful in your career. And I must tell you that I've met some very amazing professionals today. I live in Houston, Texas, so I know very few people out here. So it is a little bit intimidating for me to stand up here and talk to a very highly accomplished group of people. But hopefully, in the next few minutes, and those 5 themes would remind you of some of the learnings that we've all had over the years as professionals. The first theme is a very basic theme, which has to do with the fact that you have to be good in what you do. Okay? It's about having the technical or the functional skills that you're hired for. If you're an accountant, you have to be good in accounting. If you're an electrical engineer, you have to be good in electrical engineering. Now, you know, all of us, I know, try to hire people or help people who have similar backgrounds, whether it's the same religion or same ethnicity. But none of us will hire a person over another person when that person is not qualified for the job. It's not It's not in our interest or in the interest of the individual you're trying to hire. So it starts with having an excellence in what you do. And tied into that is this notion of work ethic. This morning, Imam Zaid mentioned that in Islam, it's important that we have strong work ethic. We heard that in some of the panels I sat through. So there is no substitute for having good functional skills, technical skills, and a strong work ethic. When you think about your career, in whatever profession you're in, think about how you would be described by your supervisor or your manager. What is the headline about you? It could be that you are the best electrical engineer, period, in this organization. Or it could say you are the best manager of people. Or it could say you are the best team player in your organization. All of those are important and valuable things to have, but you've got to have something, a spike, as they say, in your profile for you to be successful. Because if you don't have that, none of the other things you do will matter. The second theme that came up, and I certainly relate to that personally, is the need to be flexible. We live in a very dynamic economy. Each one of us over a 30-year career will probably have 4 or 5 or 6 different jobs, 4 or 5 very different types of jobs. In my own case, I've been working for 20 years and I've had 3 very different jobs. And I suspect I'll have at least 1 or 2 other different types of jobs in the future, inshallah. I started out as a software developer. I worked for 5 years. I worked some very technical software for a company called Mentor Graphics. Well, I realized that there were only 5 companies in the world who would hire me with that skill set. So I decided to go back to school. I went to Wharton for my MBA. So 2 years in there, I started my second career at McKinsey. And that became a 9-year tenure at McKinsey. But then I realized that I needed to have a real job. Advising people and counseling people was not something I enjoyed doing for an extended period of time. So I switched and switched to one of my clients and became an operating manager. And that has led to sort of 3 different jobs since leaving McKinsey. So I'm using myself as an example to illustrate how this economy and this job market offers very exciting opportunities for people who are flexible and willing to change. And my advice to all of you is to keep in mind that what you're doing today may not be relevant for the job market 5 years from now. So you've got to be flexible in your skill set and be constantly looking to improve your skills and stay current.